43 yes 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 maybe but yes.
Hey,
All right.
ready.
All right.
Alright.
Welcome to podcast 43,
The fourth episode.
the fourth episode,
Yeah.
and so it looks like we're and it looks like this week we are mixing it up a little bit instead of picking a recent movie to talk
Yeah.
about. We're talking about Tenet. That's right, guys. We're talking about Desperado, the Robert
Yeah.
Rodriguez movie from
You
'95.
you haven't seen Tenet, right?
I still have not seen Tenet.
Okay. I saw you rewatch Inception. Or you
No,
watch Inception,
yeah, I'd
sorry.
never seen it. But no, I'm planning to go and see Tenet, maybe swoop by McDonald's, get myself a Travis Scott burger,
Mm-hmm.
uh, to accompany the film. And yeah, hopefully I will see it this weekend though. But
Alright. Well, I'll be excited to hear your thoughts. I know I had some takes on it last episode, so it'd be interesting to kind of compare and contrast.
yeah,
So I've got a little bit of a news section, but before we jumped into that, I just kind of wanted to do an update on the podcast. I know we kind of saved this for the ending of the show, but I just wanted to say a quick thank you to all the friends and family that have checked out the podcast and that have
right on,
given
yeah.
us their notes. We just want to say a quick thank you and that we really do appreciate it. Um, and that we now have a UK following now, a 2% UK following. So,
Don't forget about our loyal
Czechoslovakia.
our Czechoslovakian, our one Czechoslovakian fan.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
guess it's a
brother.
one UK fan, but you know what? It still counts. I'm still
That's
counting
right.
it. So, um, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things are going, and
hmm
me and Chris are taking big boy steps, and we're getting professional mics, or
That's
not
right.
professional, but better than what we're working with right now.
Yeah.
So we're excited to integrate that, and that will hopefully be in next
Next
week's
episode. Yeah,
episode. Yeah. So we'll save the reveal of the next movie for the ending of the episode.
of course.
Um,
But yeah, let's hear what
the
news you got.
So starting off, I thought this is a little interesting because I wouldn't have expected it, but with the slew of all recuts and director's cuts and any cut of a movie that you can imagine is coming out nowadays.
hmm
I don't know if Francis Ford Coppola is overseeing it, but there is a new Godfather 3 cut coming out, and it'll be released in theaters.
Oh, knowing him, he's definitely overseeing it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was
Um,
pretty sure that he was. That's the only Godfather film I haven't seen.
uh,
So,
yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, Ford Coppola's, he's definitely in the twilight of his career.
hmm
He's been having a lot of fun, it seems, with recutting his old movies again.
hmm
Like,
I still want to see. There's like a 12-hour cut or something of like he made a cut of all the Godfathers cut together, but chronologically. I still want to see
uh,
that, but I don't know
that
if I'll ever get around to it.
that one I still haven't seen.
hmm
But I've heard it's all right. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like by making it chronological, you take away a lot of the emotional weight, especially in Godfather 2, with the
do yeah.
juxtaposition between the story of Vito immigrating into the United States and Michael's continued rise through the crime empire. So,
hmm
um, yeah, I mean it's interesting, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's essential. Uh,
I didn't think it was. I was just always been interested to kind of see it.
yeah.
But I know me and you are still really holding out for the air cut of Suicide Squad, so hopefully with
Yeah,
our newfound podcast fame we can finally get that train. Hey, David Ayer, we fully support you. We got your back, bud.
Hey,
So
David Ayer, I know that you and Warner Brothers have probably burnt that bridge 2 years ago, but
well, I know me and you talked about it, but I just thought it was funny in the Suicide Squad trailer for James Gunn. He was like, "Yeah, we couldn't have picked a better director to take Suicide Squad." Um, but speaking of trailers, the new Dune trailer for Denis Villeneuve. I hope I'm saying it
yeah,
right. I hear everyone pronounce his name in a different way, but
I think that's
uh,
right. Yeah, yeah.
the new Dune trailer's out, and I watched part of it, but then I heard one plot point, and I was like, you know what, I'm good.
I,
I'm excited for the movie as it is. So,
I just saw the stills. I don't
hmm
know. I mean, like I don't know. I just kind of give it a shrug.
yeah,
I don't.
I'm personally excited for it just because I am a big fan of Timothy Chalamet and like the whole cast in general. But I do really like Denis Villeneuve. But it I understand where you're coming from because I don't
Uh,
think it looks as breathtaking as. Well, I mean, Dune has such a long history in film. Sorry, continue.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, it's probably gonna be one of those movies that's gonna come out and people are gonna flock to it. That especially considering that he kind of has a somewhat of a large following,
Yeah,
and I don't know. I'm thinking that I'm speculating that people are gonna kind of give it glowing praise because of that. But it could
that's
be
what I thought
deserved.
about 2049, and
Yeah,
like no one saw that. I mean, it was praised about. Don't get me wrong, but like the mainstream public kind of like didn't take to it. But I mean, it
yeah.
was a cult following in the first place, so I don't really know what to expect when doing that.
Surprising though that Warner Brothers would give him. I mean, I'm assuming a quite large budget for
Oh
this
my
movie.
God. I think they shot one and two back to back, but I could be wrong. But I want
Yeah,
to say they're pretty much. I mean, I'd have to imagine that shooting has probably been delayed because of the virus, but I'm
yeah,
sure they're deep into part two at the moment.
but yeah, especially considering that Blade Runner 2049
Yeah,
wasn't a
which
real
I love it, but
killer.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it in theaters with the speakers shot out
Uh,
on one end. So every single time that the Hans Zimmer score would make an appearance, it would
I saw it I was in New York at the time, and I snuck into a theater. Me and a friend. This is the only time I've ever done it, but we were there for like a film festival, and me and a friend snuck in, and it was like a special Adobe presentation where they like
yeah.
emphasized that it was like the colors were true blacks, so there'd be no difference on the screen or something like that. But it sounded really. I think that kind of made it too. You know, like
Oh,
the theater
definitely. Yeah.
experience of it was a lot. And I've watched it after the theater. I still really enjoy it, but definitely I think it's one of those films that
Oh,
are
yeah.
better in the theater.
And I think that that's what I asked for Dune.
Hmm
I think even if I'm not super into Dune,
hmm
I can just I just would love a great theater
hmm
experience.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if you can just provide that, then I'll be content with
hmm
that. But
I
yeah.
hmm
Oh, you can go.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I don't really have a segue for this next one. You know Amazon has acquired the rights for the Nick Cage Tiger King, so it's a show now. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was just gonna be a movie, but so
Well.
that's chugging along. I guess. I mean, I'm interested to see Nick Cage's. Uh, shoot, I forgot his name. It doesn't. It is the Tiger King. I think it's
Joe
definitely, yeah, Joe
Exotic.
Exotic. I think it's
Yeah.
definitely got to be interesting. But I would have
I
thought if
mean,
anyone would have got the rights, it would have been at Netflix. But I guess not.
well, I was on Apple TV yesterday,
Hmm.
and it suggested me some new release Nick Cage movie,
Hmm.
and it looked like, and it was some Nick Cage movie, and I think it had like a tiger or a lion or some type of wild animal in front of it, and he was kind of dressed like Joe Exotic, and I was like, wow, they already produced this, but it just turned out to be another Nicolas Cage movie that where he has where he's an animal. I don't know, something to
An
do with
animal
animals.
lover.
Yeah, I mean, so if that one went under your radar, like it did for me,
I didn't even know it came out.
just
I would
yeah, no.
assume it's one of those cases where the advertising team just like tried to make it look similar so they'd actually get people to like watch it. Um,
Yeah.
which there's a similar movie called The Bad Mother's Handbook that did the same thing, but with Robert Pattinson. Maybe me and you can cover that one for.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Oh, don't be. And then this one, I think for sure we're gonna have to cover for the podcast. Adam Sandler's new movie, Hubie
Hubie
Halloween,
Halloween.
which,
I'm so happy you brought it up because I was going to bring it up myself.
yeah,
I love the fact I watched the trailer, giddy with excitement.
I haven't seen the
I
trailer
the
yet, unfortunately.
Okay, well, the thing that I personally love the most about the trailer is bringing back the voices. So if you love the Water Boy, you love how he did.
Mm.
I can't even do it. He's in Hubie Halloween. He plays Hubie, and he kind of gives off the Bobby Boucher type vibes.
I
So
mean, I think you can agree with me on this one, but we're kind of just waiting for Zohan too. And
oh
hopefully,
God, yes.
hopefully we'll stand strong. We'll get it one day. But
as as a champion of Zohan being a great example of 2000s
in
aesthetics
comedy,
in American comedy. Yeah, I
yeah,
wholeheartedly
I'm
agree.
so happy we watched that. It's yeah. So maybe we'll talk about Hubie Hall when it comes out in our news section. But
Hubie Halloween.
oh,
It's a
Halloween.
Halloween
Oops, I
themed
made
run.
it sound like a like a biopic. Um,
Well, and they kind of do this thing in the trailer, which is kind of funky, where they do a like kind of like a cover of Dead Man's Party by Oingo
oh
Boingo, and
God.
it's like kind of a bit slowed down,
You
and
know what?
you know,
I I did see the promotional trailer you sent me, and it was just Adam Sandler in the dark waving a light on his face. I quite like that one a lot. I'll admit that one sold me on the movie. Um,
I mean, yeah, and it was his birthday yesterday, so
oh
happy
yeah.
birthday, Mr. Sandler.
Well, this
Uh,
one I know will also strike a nerve with you. They're making a RoboCop prequel, but without RoboCop.
yeah, that's no.
I don't know why. Oh, it's gonna be a series. My bad. So it'll be a show. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I don't know.
oh
Yeah.
boy, give us more information. I'd love to find out, the beginnings of OCP and what they were doing and what Detroit was like before RoboCop. Maybe we can give an origin story to
It says
who.
it'll be centered around Richard Jones as he becomes a hard-nosed arsehole.
That's stupid. I don't care about that
I mean,
character
surely,
other than
yeah.
other than the other than what he other than his character in RoboCop. I was never like, man, I wonder how this guy made it up through the corporate ranks of Omni consumer products.
I don't really see what they're gonna do with it, but I guess we'll see. We'll let reviews and trailers speak for themselves. I guess whenever that if it really it sounds like it's in the works, so they could get Chopped at some point. I don't know. It doesn't.
Well,
I'm trying to see where it's
I
going
mean,
to.
Netflix is making that mini series about Nurse Ratched from One
Yeah,
Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Sarah
I really don't
Paulson.
understand
So,
that. That's another Ryan Murphy one. So, yeah.
can we just dedicate an episode? We'll watch Ryan Murphy's Hollywood and we'll just make fun of it for the whole
I've seen like
episode.
3 or 4 episodes, I think. I tried to give it a shot because I do like I like, like 50s Hollywood. I like the idea of it, although it was really shitty,
Oh
but
yeah,
um I like the
but
aesthetics and stuff like that. But
oh yeah,
yeah.
that was why I was interested in it. I watched the first episode and then I couldn't go any
I mean, I
further.
think it kind of
Uh,
suffers from all of other Ryan Murphy stuff where it's like they have these big moments for these characters and they convey it visually and they convey it like visually and with the score and the actors are trying, but at the end of the day it doesn't really feel that earned, I guess could be the best thing. That's
yeah,
really the best way that I could describe why I couldn't. I've never been able to get into
yeah.
American Horror Story. I always thought the idea was cool. Again, like all the premises for his stuff sound interesting, except Ratchet. I don't get that one, but
Yeah,
like all his other stuff that he's done, I can see why people are into it or see why they like it. I just have personally never
well,
been able
I
to
can
get into
understand the appeal to something like Glee
it.
and American Horror
Yeah,
Story,
I
but
don't
you know.
thought about Glenn. Yeah. And then Borat 2 has been finished, shot, and screened. Which I thought they just started filming it because there's that photo of, Sacha Baron Cohen and someone like drove up next to him and then just took a photo of him.
Yeah. But who, like, at this point, who doesn't know who Borat
Yeah,
is?
that's
Like,
my
is there
thing is
anybody,
like
like,
how I get it with what he did with Who is America because he like drastically changed his features. But
yeah,
like,
it was
I mean,
elaborate
but
disguising,
Borat
yeah.
is, I mean, he's a part of, I'd say, pop culture at this moment because I can't really tell you how many times I've heard like, "Yeah, he's very good," and shit like that.
It's my way.
2 thumbs up. Yeah, I
uh,
don't. You know what? I like
I
Sacha
mean,
Baron Cohen, so I'll still see it. I mean, I
yeah,
like the original.
I'll save this for uh, at the end of the episode when we discuss other things that we watched this
Hmm.
week that
Oh, I'm excited to hear
we
your
felt
take.
worth
I won't
mentioning.
say it, but
Uh,
I'm excited. I know what you watched.
all right, but yeah, well, I will save that until
Yeah,
after. But yeah, Mr. Cohen will be brought up
once again.
later in the episode. So, uh, anyways, yeah, I mean, like, other than that, I don't really know what else. I guess the Academy came up with like new rules,
Yeah, I did.
for
Yeah, it's
eligibility
like
for
the
Best Picture.
2025 initiative or something like that. I don't know. It was like
Hmm.
I know they said that they plan to have everything rolled out by 2025.
Yeah, so Green Book qualifies, so don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I think it's broad enough where it's not really gonna change much, and I think the BAFTAs did a similar thing. So we'll see what
It's
happens.
I
But
feel like I think it's a good step forward. I just
hmm
don't really see people because it was like you have to have an exclusivity form or something where you or inclusive
yeah,
forms, and I just don't know how all that is really going to play out logistically. Like I feel like it's so
oh
easy
yeah,
to just fake that because it's not a legal requirement. It's only but
yeah,
we'll see.
and
We'll
it's
see.
like Yeah, I mean, like, I guess it can also be, well, I mean, like, I guess the Academy still holds, I think, some influence and
Yeah,
capital
I'd say
over
as much as I
over film.
dislike the Academy, I'll say it.
Yeah, as
But
much as we'll both discuss our
yeah,
distaste with the Academy
I know
every
we
year,
just threw
and
our
mo-
invitation out the window this year, but I think we'll be
yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's if they, I feel like I've already burned a lot of bridges
In
in
this,
Hollywood before I've even.
yeah, Vin Diesel won't talk to me
uh,
anymore, which it is what it is.
damn, he blocked you too.
He didn't like what we were tweeting on Review Dude.
But Mr. Sandler, we love you.
I do truly love Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
So
like honestly, like I will, that's somebody that I can't
yeah, no,
criticize.
I
Just a dude rocking.
dude
Yeah.
rocking that. That's right. So now we are now we're women rockers too, because our stats are getting a little bit more diversified with our listeners.
Hmm.
So,
That's
but
right.
um, I guess we can go ahead and hop into our movie if you are ready to.
Yeah, sure. All right. So, Desperado is the film. Oh, so a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. The way that we've been doing this, or the way that we're organizing it, is you know, I pick a
Mhm.
movie, Fulton picks a movie, so we go back and forth. So this was my pick. It's so we picked, like I mentioned, Robert Rodriguez's Desperado from '95, and it's kind of it's a Mexican
Mhm.
Western slash Mexploitation film, which is a sequel to his first feature, his debut, El Mariachi, which is famous for being shot on a $7,000 budget, and it follows Antonio Banderas
Recasted.
as yeah,
As
recast
in, which I
from
think he fits so. I Chris has seen the first one. I have not.
I've seen the
Yeah. Oh, my
trilogy.
bad.
I just
I really
yeah.
liked him in this role. I thought he captured the character very nicely.
Yes, I think he fits really well into the
Mhm.
role and does a fantastic job as El Mariachi. But it's like a revenge film. Uh, it kind of so it picks up a little bit or kind of after the first film, but it's really easy to follow along if you haven't seen El
Mhm.
Mariachi, and it's just a
Yeah,
better
I
film
followed it.
all
Yeah,
around.
it wasn't that hard.
Uh, and so I I just wanted the first thing that I wanted to mention was since I watched Desperado, then I watched El Mariachi, then I watched Once Upon a Time in
Mhm.
Mexico. I thought that as both me and you, this was our first film in the
Mhm.
trilogy. Watching it, I really enjoyed the character introduction that they give to the character that Steve Buscemi's character, which in the credits is titled his name is just Buscemi, which I thought was funny.
I did
Uh,
like his frantic yet controlled nature about like everything.
yeah,
It was yeah, I won't talk spoilers just yet. I was about to say something, but I'll wait.
but yeah, like the way that he goes into the bar and Cheech Marin is the
Hmm.
bartender, and he's talking about El Mariachi and kind of makes him off to be like this threatening character, and then immediately after it cuts to him, Antonio Banderas just playing the guitar, playing his heart out while also like attacking this
Hmm.
guy. And I think it's a really great intro to the character, kind of the juxtaposition. uh,
He's a fighter and a lover,
that's right. Yeah.
which gets shown
Um,
to us in great detail.
oh yeah, that's don't worry, we're gonna talk about
Hmm.
that because I think there's a lot of funny stuff. But are you? how big of a fan are you, would you say, of the work of Robert Rodriguez?
Um, so the work that I've seen, I mean, I grew up along with, like a ton of kids watching Spy Kids when I grew up. So that must have
Yeah,
it had to be my first introduction to his work. And I really enjoyed those as a kid. I haven't rewatched them since. I've been really wanting to rewatch Sin City. I've seen both of those
yeah,
movies. Did he do this? He did the sequel, right? Okay.
yeah.
All
He
right.
did
A
he
Dame to
did
Kill For.
the sequel. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
which when I first saw the movie a few years, I guess I was in middle school. I really enjoyed Sin City, so I don't know how it still holds up, but hopefully I'll have a chance to rewatch it soon. A Dame to
Yeah,
Yeah, you were saying.
I was gonna say, yeah, Sin City was that was definitely a big one for
That
me.
was yeah.
Like when I was like 15, I thought it was like the coolest shit I ever seen. Like,
I do really
but,
there is something about it,
yeah,
and I do like the ethos that he just shot the whole thing in his house. Like I really do
yeah,
like that he is like it seems like still he's like even though he's making movies with bigger and bigger budgets, he's still like an indie filmmaker at heart. It seems like because I want to say he like financed a good bit of Alita, but I could be wrong about that.
well, maybe him and James Cameron both, yeah, had a hand on financing it. I wasn't really a fan of Alita
I
too much.
haven't seen
I know that
it.
it kind of, I mean, I know it kind of has like it's kind of garnered
A
quite a
following now,
following.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I'll see it at
yeah,
some point.
I mean, yeah, I think it's an interesting canonical
Yeah.
blockbuster, I think. I mean, but I think that or he has a new movie coming out, or it's supposed to come out, that I'm
Oh, wasn't it about
anticipating.
like I saw that. I didn't isn't it oh shoot, what's it called? Sorry, I totally forgot what it was called. But I saw it. I didn't know that he was working on another movie.
It's the one that he shot for 7,000 as well. I think he did it with like his son or something,
Oh,
but
that's pretty cool.
I guess yeah, he's trying to do that. I guess trying to like do the El Mariachi thing again, um, but yeah, no, I think he's definitely up there with one of my favorite directors as far as like just he just makes like fun movies to
Yeah.
watch, and I really appreciate that. Like another
I've seen
formative
Machete.
film
Machete,
from
sorry.
yeah, Machete,
So hopefully we still get the
great.
space one. The third one.
Yeah, that I'm waiting for Machete Kills in Space, and then like From Dusk Till Dawn, Planet Terror,
Mhm.
and then of course the Spy Kids films. Yeah, and I think I really appreciate his filmmaking and like the kind of like grindhousey type action that he shoots, and I think a good example of that, or the blueprint for like what he would later go on to make, is with Desperado, because El Mariachi has like, kind of crazy violence, but he's kind of constrained by a quite a low
Yeah.
budget, and with this, it's like you got some pretty wild stuff, like
Hmm.
as far as violence goes, and it's just so over the top, but it's so lovely, like the guitar having like a gun, and the
And a missile.
having a gun like attached, and then
It's that pose is pretty
and
sick. I can't lie.
and the cod piece gun.
Um, it honestly reminded me of like the '80s action craze, but with his own spin on it, and so yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I like, is that he makes it his own and kind of gives it kind of a like, and somebody, he's from Texas, but he's family, I think, is is Mexican, and I think he kind of, I like how he kind of uses Mexican culture, and it takes place in Mexico,
Yeah.
and kind of like gives it his own
Yeah.
spin. So I wanted to bring this up to you. So it has it has a pretty crazy cast of characters, and a lot of regulars that Rodriguez likes to use, and his good old pal Quentin Tarantino has a role, and Quentin Tarantino is
The
not
best.
my favorite
He's the
actor.
best. I think the best he could be. So a guy walks into a bar and he says, "Hey, if I can piss in that cup, I forget the rest of the line, but the guy pisses all over the bar and on him." It was, yeah, it.
That's a
Oh man,
great impression.
Is he better in
Yeah.
Planet Terror or not in Planet Terror? And From Dusk Till Dawn?
He's not better in From Dusk Till Dawn because he's in more of From Dusk Till Dawn. So.
I have an action figure of him as the rapist somewhere. Where is it at? I can't find it in my room. But I have an action figure of him. And I've never seen the movie. I just, like, when I was in high school, I just thought it would be cool to have a Quentin Tarantino action figure. So I picked it up, and then I saw that it said on the bottom, it said, like, rapist in capital red letters. And I was like, oh, well.
And you said, oh, wow, you gotta throw this away now.
It's somewhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But
send me a pic of it after. I need to see this.
We'll make it the cover art.
But yeah, that I was just like, God, you're so bad. You just choose scenery, Quentin. I'm sorry, buddy. But like, I don't know. We got Danny Trejo.
I thought he looked incredibly slick in this movie, and like, I know in real life he's like a short guy, but he just like in this movie he's got a screen presence that just like it shines in his own way. Like, I know he's not like a beautiful man or anything, but like he like oozes a coolness about him.
Danny, can you please come on the pod one day?
That'd be
I would love you.
That'd be a great interview.
But yeah, like he just looks so slick, and then I love his character introduction where he's shown like punching in a phone number with his like mini knives, and it's like
his throwing knives. I like that they're crosses too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, they just. I guess we can go ahead and do the spoiler. And is there anything else you want to really say about the film before we get into the details of it?
Well, Banderas also I think looks really good in the movie. On top of like having a good performance with his scorpion leather jacket, which was a precursor to Ryan Gosling in Drive. So a whole 16 years prior. So. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. I was just spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen the film. I was just gonna say, like, I was so sad when Danny's character got like brutally murdered. Like, I mean, he put up a fight, and then I hadn't realized how kind of, in actuality, how dumb the character is, because he can't. I mean, he's for sure gonna get killed. Like, I just love the fact that he's still trying, and he's like jumping on the car and still trying to like knife, like kill him.
Yeah.
And then he just gets shot, and like 4 hits, he's out.
But it's a great joke.
Yeah,
though,
it is.
After they kill him, when Bucha is on the phone, and he's like asking for the description of Danny Trejo's character, and he's just like right there, his dead corpse.
Bucha was so I guess this is something that you can clear up for me. So at the end, did did he not know that Bucho was his brother when the wife had died, or did he just know that he was looking for a man in a white suit?
He just knew he was looking for a man in a white suit.
Okay, because
Yeah.
like the way the
Bucho is not.
Bucho isn't
So
his brother.
yeah. So context. A lot of the plot relies, or the plot revolves around El Mariachi,
Hmm.
trying to track down a mob boss called Bucho, that was connected to the murder of the woman, the previous woman that he loved. I believe her name is Valentina from the first El Mariachi,
Hmm.
because she got murdered, and so like it's like trying to get revenge and stuff, and then later he figures out that Bucho is his brother, and that kind of a bit of it's a bit of a twist.
Yeah.
But the there was a quote that I loved. So Carolina, Selma Hayek's character, they just kind of have a good, just kind of
Chemistry.
yeah, good chemistry together.
Hmm.
And a bit of a romantic subplot.
Hmm.
But on top of that,
I'm just thinking about that one
the
scene.
well that, but also like when he's like, I have to, when she heals him up, and then he's like, I have to go to church, and
Oh
he's
yeah,
about
that was a really good. Yeah. Are you talking about when he's talking to the priest?
yeah, when he's
Yeah.
talking to the priest, and then like the priest is like, don't you, because he's trying to go to confession, um, and the priest there at first, and he's talking to Steve Buscemi's character, and then the priest comes by, and he has to go leave because he got new information about Bucho, and the priest is like, do you want to go to confession? And he says, maybe later, Father, because where I'm going, I just have to come right back.
That was a really like it was such a good just something to leave the room on, like something to end the scene with. It was a really good line.
Yeah. And it's all about Banderas's
Yeah.
delivery too, just like totally that coolness of this enigmatic figure,
Hmm.
this mariachi playing assassin, which the and then so with Hayek's character, of course they have a romance, and they uh, there's a sex scene, which is kind of, which is like over the top in like the best way,
Yeah.
like
I'm thinking of the spurs going down her body. That
yeah.
was that was
But
yeah.
the passionate love making that's there with the way that it's shot and stuff, and then juxtaposing it with Bucho just unenthusiastically like making out with this like random girl is just so funny to
Yeah.
me. Like,
Well, cause he wants her. Bucho wants
yeah.
some
Oh
Carolina.
yeah, totally.
I'm trying to think of other stuff that
The motif of the guitar motif that I noticed throughout the movie
mhm.
was another thing that I like spotted, and it shows up throughout all three films.
Mhm.
But this one, you have guitar ashtrays, guitar people playing guitars and then El Mariachi, of course, has his guitar case as a way to hide his
Yeah.
weapons. And then there's guitar rocket launchers, and so I just
And
wanted
the
to
cocaine guitars.
the cocaine
Yeah.
guitars with the kid.
That was a
And
little
I just
sad.
wanted to, that was a bit sad. I just wanted to ask, like, what do you think the guitar what's the greater meaning of what the guitar represents in this film, in Desperado?
I realized that there was a motif. I don't think I have a clear I don't think I have a clear answer about what it represents. Kind of what I was picking up more on or understanding more was, even though this is an over the top kind of action movie, it was interesting to see that. I mean, Robert Rodriguez may have been saying something about it, and he may not, but how kind of crime can infect these communities and how it's kind of
That's
yeah,
definitely,
so like
yeah.
how it kind of infects them, and then they're kind of preyed upon and used, and it's only for, even though they kind of make it seem like they are helping out the people by giving them money to let them store coke at certain places, it's really only hurting them because, I mean, Carolina's whole thing was that she has a bookstore, so she was using the money to keep the bookstore alive, but as a result of, I guess, that connection that ends for her. And then with the boy, even though he's like an innocent kid, he's got to drop off these guitars that have drugs in them. He ends up getting shot, which he does get
Yeah.
saved, and Carolina too. I just like how Banderas and El Mariachi is kind of a honorable protagonist, and kind of even though he is trying to, I'd say, right a wrong that happened to him, he's still respectful of people, even though they may have. I'm trying to find the right way to kind of convey what I'm thinking.
Well, kind of turning him into like kind of this honorable, like vigilante type.
He's like he essentially gets rid of like the whole gang. I mean, he goes through multiple waves of them. Like, there can't be anyone. Maybe I think it's funny, like at the end, how there's like 12 people left or something, and Bucho's like, "All right, well, check this out," and he kills like a few of them, and it's like, "All right, man, your numbers are so slim,
Yeah, you really lost a lot, buddy. I
don't know if taking out more of them is
mean,
necessarily the right call.
and I mean, this this theme of just expendable goons, it only gets worse throughout in the sequel, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, where like Johnny Depp's character is just
Depp's in it.
Yeah, Johnny Depp is
God, now I've really gotta watch.
Dude, you gotta check it out. It's a great Depp kind of. He's like sort of a villain. There's too many characters in that one. It kind of gets a bit convoluted, but like he's just so trigger happy in the movie too. Like he just kills like a bunch of people, and it's just like these expendable goons in this franchise that just like, oh well, we're just gonna kill this person. Also, I wanted to talk about what may be one of the nastiest bathrooms I've ever seen in film, in the scene where Tarantino and the
had
other
Train
guy.
Spotting come out before then?
Train Spotting, if I want to say that this was the same year.
Oh, wow.
It was either the same year or the year before Train Spotting. I think.
I'm checking right now.
I feel like Train Spotting was 95. It was either 95 or 96, I think.
Oh yes, bring up T2. It was 96. So this one actually came out before.
Okay.
So I was thinking maybe I was like, is that supposed to be like a call out, or
Danny Boyle watched
Desperado, and he's like, this makes a lot of sense in Train Spotting. Yeah, that was a gross bath. I did think it was funny how Quentin Tarantino tried to touch absolutely nothing, but ended up like scraping right against the toilet.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I guess to go back, what you were, what did you think the guitar motif was within the film? Do you have kind of an idea about it?
I think of it as kind of like this thing that ties everyone together culturally in Mexico, and it's like it's like this symbol, or like music for that matter, is like this thing that like you can be a cartel and you can like do all this horrible stuff, but you still like like music, and throughout that, it just made me think of. I'm gonna bring up Sacha Baron Cohen again, but it made me think of that
not the last time
of
the podcast episode.
not the last time. It made me think of that scene in Ali G where he's going and trying to get the ice cream glove patent approved, the ice cream glove, and he's showing it off to investors. And he goes to Donald Trump and he asks him, "What do you think is the most popular thing?" And Donald Trump goes, "Music." And I think, and that's what the guitar reminds me of. It's like music is the most popular, is one of the most popular things. Everybody loves music, no matter if you're this horrible criminal.
I will talk about
or just
later, so that's also not the last mention of allergy.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean it totally makes sense because it's I mean the guitar, with Hispanic culture is a huge thing, Yeah. So it completely makes sense that would kind of be at the center of this movie. And I do think it's an interesting inclusion too. Because you can kind of look at it is it ties into the myth too of El Mariachi, because it's like this tall brooding man that has a guitar case. Well, anyone could really have a guitar case, so so maybe it could work around that anyone can go fight the cartel.
That's right.
I'm kidding.
And so don't do that, guys.
I can't. The cartel is a huge. We don't have to get into that.
So we would also recommend watching Get the Gringo, starring Mel Gibson, the 2012 film.
Which the sequel is coming out, still having to get the Gringo, and me and Chris have been asked to be executive producers, which we're very excited about.
So excited. Thank you. This
is
a
huge opportunity.
Undertaking.
Yeah. I know we've only got like a few listeners, but we hold a lot of weight now.
But the thing is so this kind of watching this kind of obviously made me watch the other two, which inspired me. And then I started reading his book, Rodriguez's book, that I think came out the same year as Desperado, so 95, about the making of El Mariachi, called Rebel Without a Crew. So kind of a nifty title right there. And it just kind of has a little bit, it's just pretty much a journal of all the things that he did for the most part while filming the movie. So I'm excited to delve into that. But do you have any other things to say about El Mariachi?
I'm probably going to check out the other two movies in the trilogy. I just hadn't had the time, just so like the listeners know. I just hadn't had the time to get them in before we did the podcast. I do have, so I guess I'll ask you a question, then I kind of have a final thought on it. So out of the trilogy, is Desperado your favorite, or would you?
Oh, easily. Okay. Yeah, easily. I think that Desperado is just kind of the best. A lot of this trilogy and like Sam Raimi's Evil Dead trilogy have a lot in common to me, as far as like how they were made. Like where Evil Dead is a super kind of low budget movie, El Mariachi is a super low budget movie, and then Desperado is kind of like a big budget upgrade with similar themes. And then like Once Upon a Time in Mexico is kind of like this crazy, more out there plot involving the president of Mexico and the CIA and all this other stuff.
Perfect.
And Johnny Depp. And I mean, it's not as outlandish as something like Army of Darkness is, which is, has time travel and stuff, but it's still kind of a crazy story. It's still kind of a crazy evolution over time. And I think that he just really hit it out of the park with this one.
So with that being said, I guess my kind of final thoughts are like, I think this is a pretty fun movie. So I definitely say, like, check it out. If you just want, like, a fun, like, I mean, you can read more into it if you want to, but I think it's a pretty fun, entertaining movie that has a natural coolness about it. What are your final thoughts on the film?
I would highly second that. I think it's a great time, great hang. You just, watch it. It's literally free. So, I mean, it's free on Amazon. So like, it won't even cost you a dime to just watch this great action film. And I just think it has a fun cast. The music is quite good. Los Lobos does the music. And I would just say that you don't even need to watch El Mariachi to really enjoy this for what it is. And Robert Rodriguez is somebody that I will always champion as one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite directors.
Yeah, I think I may have already said it, but I do want to check out more of his work and kind of dive a little bit deeper, because it is interesting to see, like, his roots and then make something like, I think he made the Spy Kids movie and then made Sin City, or was it the other way around?
Yeah, it was Spy Kids then Sin
Any
City,
which way, that transformation, or kind of like, the lineage is just interesting to me, to make Sin City and then make these like fun, big budget, children's
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot that he did that. Yeah, I loved that movie as a kid. Apparently I think he's doing something for Netflix. And they're coming back somehow. I heard about that. We'll see.
That's what
But apparently the actors are coming back too, to play their respective roles.
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah.
Getting work finally again.
Poor buddy. I guess we can jump into our section of things that me and you have kind of recently watched and we want to just talk about for a moment.
All right. So I got a good one and I got a dog shit one. So first, I guess I should probably get the bad one out of the way first. I watched the Brothers Grimsby, the Sacha Baron Cohen, Mark Strong movie.
I've never seen this movie, but I always was interested because I saw The Dictatorship, and that's a movie.
The Dictator. Yeah, I mean, like I was in honestly, I was excited to watch. I mean, I watched it with some friends, so I wasn't alone. I feel like it would be unbearable if I was alone watching it. But I was intrigued because I think it had cult potential, or at least I assumed it did. Just because I think that Sacha Baron Cohen can be quite funny, and he's one of my favorite comics working. And it's just really bad. It's like there are some jokes that are just so gross out to the point that like it's not even I mean, I'm all for like gross out comedy if it's done right. Like I think that Freddie Got Fingered
his movie's called Dictator,
a good example of that.
I call it
Dictator.
I call it Dictatorship. Oops. Okay. Yeah. I heard a behind the scenes thing where there's a scene where he gets like eaten by an elephant and then pooped out.
Yes. No. It's much worse than that. It's much worse than that. I don't.
You don't have to say.
Yeah, just
I think
Um,
I know what
and
happened now. There's only so many things that could happen. I'm pretty sure.
oh,
I
I
think I
mean,
know what happened.
it's the lowest of lowbrow. But yeah, like lacking the nuance of something that Freddie Got Fingered, which is like almost is like self-satirical and partially ironic and kind of making fun of those types of movies where Brothers Grimsby just goes all in and it says, that's what we are, and that's, we're just gonna keep doing that. There's a few jokes that are
Mhm.
funny, but yeah, there's just a lot of weird stuff, and most of the jokes are about sex. I know that's surprising, uh, but you know, don't watch it. I really wouldn't recommend it. And yeah, the good thing that I watched, other than Rodriguez's Mexico
Mhm.
trilogy, was Antonioni or Michelangelo Antonioni's Blow Up, which
I've seen that one.
I
Yeah.
yeah, it's I I quite enjoyed it. It was my first Antonioni. I also am planning on watching Zabriskie Point sometime soon, which I think was the next film that he
Mhm.
made after Blow Up. But is a pretty cool, very sleek type, very 60s
Yeah.
movie about Yardbirds are even in it, about the culture of the time, and like I guess aesthetics is an important is another
It's
important
I think it's super
theme.
important in that film.
Yeah. But yeah, it's bleak.
Mhm.
It's bleak in like an upbeat way, and I think that the Herbie Hancock soundtrack is another thing that I've been bumping today or this
I
week.
it's
So
been a good, I think, 2 years since I've seen it. But I really liked it, but I can't really call on specifics. So I'm sorry, I'm not able to.
remember the part where he gets the giant propeller. Uh, that's a fun
I
part.
remember the blue. Uh, what is it? The blue instrument. Trumpet? No, it's not a
The
trumpet. He steals
the,
it.
the blue. You talking about?
I think I'm
Wait,
confusing How I Met Your
I
Mother
don't remember a
with
blue.
with
Yeah,
Blow Up.
that's
Doesn't
what
he steal
makes me think
something
of.
from someone at a concert? Dude, am I
Well,
seriously
he just
confused?
he goes to the Yardbirds. The Yardbirds are playing a
Yeah,
concert, and then they like. I don't want to.
spoil it.
They like. Yeah, but yeah, I don't remember him stealing a blue
I
instrument,
remember
but
him
yes, that is
stealing
a important.
something. I just can't recall what it was.
That is an important
Yeah,
motif in the
Your
How I
Mother
Met Your Mother
universe.
television show.
I'll
Yeah.
rewatch the not How I Met Your Mother, but I can't believe I confused the two. I remember him getting in a fight or something that caused him to have to run out of the concert, and then he like looked at what he had and he was like, "Well, is this really worth it?" But I can't. I don't know. I'll figure that dilemma out. It was a little
Okay.
bit.
What
Hmm.
a uh yeah, maybe I'll have to check back, but what would you say? What have you been
Yeah.
watching, good or bad,
So
this
it's been
week?
kind of a busy week for me this week, but I made sure to get two hot ones in. So the first one was Surviving the Game, which I don't know how many people really know of.
I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever
I'd
heard of
never
it.
heard of it. I was trying to find a movie to watch that was pretty bad, so I looked up the worst films ever, which is never really a good way to find movies, I found, but I'm glad I found this one. I guess it's not a good way to find horror movies, but horror is subjective, so. Or I mean, film
Mhm.
is subjective, but horror in particular, people are like, this is the scariest thing. No, it's not really, but sorry. Surviving the Game has Ice-T as a hobo, and he is hunted by a group of like rich white dudes, I get. Oh, there's one black dude that kind of like he gets him into it.
Oh,
He leads like what is it? He runs like a homeless shelter, right? And so he leads like hobos to basically he's like, hey, come work in the forest for me. It's something like along the lines of that. He's like, come work in a forest. No, he's like, we need a forest guide. Do you think you could do it? He's like, it pays well. And Ice-T's like, no, I can't do that. And then he gets talked into it. And yeah, it's as stupid as it sounds, and it's pretty funny. I'd say get a group of friends together and watch it because it's definitely like the ending is really funny. There's like a reveal at the end with the final character, and it just you'll see it and you'll be like, why? Out of all the decisions, why would he do that? But I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil too much because there's some good things. Mhm.
is it a tour de force performance from Mr. T? Not Mr. T, but
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Ice
Ice-T.
T.
You know, it's definitely an interesting role. I mean, he was funny as the homeless man. Um, yeah, I'd say sure. We'll say it's a tour of and I made sure that I knew I had to follow it up with something, equally as good, if not better. And that was Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, that's
Um,
yeah.
and the deep homoerotic ties that this movie has is just it's truly something to behold. And this I'm gonna quote Paul Walker's character. He look. What's the character? The actor's name is Tyrese. What's the actor's?
Are you talking about Tyrese
Yeah,
Gibson's
Tyrese
character?
Gibson. Him and Paul Walker hang out. They walk up to Ludacris, and Tyrese Gibson he looks at Paul Walker and is like, "Hey man, like, what's this? What's this dude's deal?" Paul Walker says, "Oh, him? He's got a finger in everything." It's truly just one of those lines that you don't expect coming, and it just really takes you out. Not takes you out of it, but it's I don't know. Um, yeah, I mean, the Fast and the
Yeah.
Furious franchise is known for kind of being over the
It-
top, and this movie doesn't shy away from doing it. So I'd say
yeah,
it's a
like
different era of Fast and the Furious. It's not like
the frosted
yeah,
tip Paul Walker
yeah.
era of Fast and the
It's
Furious.
the early Fast and the Furious before it became like not about racing. So it seems like the first three are about like actual street racing, and then the ones after just take like this crazy, dumb, over the top action movie approach, and those ones are equally as I'd say fun and funny to watch.
Yeah, just no Wiz Khalifa.
It's no Charlie Puth songs or no. It's not Charlie Puth. It's
Yeah,
oh,
it
it
is
is Charlie
Charlie
Puth.
Puth. Yeah,
Okay, and the
yeah.
final movie, I haven't finished it. I've seen it before, but I watched the beginning of Ali G, into House. Yeah, the movie, yeah, which I
Yeah.
thought was really funny the first time I saw it, and I still think it's pretty funny. But I totally forgotten that Martin Freeman says the N word in like the very
Oh
beginning.
no. Oh no.
Yeah, I had totally forgotten about that, and it always seems to shock me every time I see it. Because
Oh
you don't
geez.
expect it. It's a very young Martin Freeman too, and he's dressed up as Britain's finest rap wannabes, which I just think it's such a funny idea for a movie, and kudos to Ali G for starting out with a narrative film that worked.
Yeah.
Which seems like he hasn't really been able to recapture what I think makes
Hmm.
Ali G so funny. Like I love stupid, dumb comedies that just do not care, like absurdist, humor, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Ali G, I think I'll always look at one of those ones that kind of shaped what I thought funny, just like crazy accents and, you know.
Well, and then like, yeah, just doing the, uh, and then just the interview format with that's why I think that Ali G is more effective comedically than something like
Yeah.
Borat, is because of the people that he interviews and like the way that he can like interview, somebody like Pat Buchanan or like what's the he does that one with the one with Noam Chomsky is really funny too, or like any of the panels in Ali G are always great.
Like
questions
I know I told you, but I just bought the Ali G series, Duck Humphrey
Yeah.
series, and I started watching it, and it's interesting to see kind of how Bruno is really the only character that like evolved, I guess, out of that kind of took on a little bit of a different shape. And Borat and Ali G, I think, in their movies have kind of more or less stay the same. I don't think Bruno's too different, but they changed up his like visual style, and they gave him a little bit more structure, I think, as like a
Bruno is definitely more structured of a film than something like Borat. It's like a lot of narration. When he has to seduce, when he tries to seduce Ron Paul.
God, I'm gonna have to rewatch this film. I'm rewatching Ali G, so I might as well, do Borat. And Bruno.
Just
in preparation for Borat too.
And prep for Grimsby for when you watch the Brothers Grimsby.
Also with Borat too, with it, I'm assuming they did it. It can't. Sorry, it probably doesn't have a huge budget. I mean, I'm assuming they were recording during the pandemic, so they had a relatively small crew. So
no, I don't think you need to have a large budget. I think the budget could even be smaller than it was in 2006 because of technology wise.
So I'm really interested to see if he is gonna release it, because like the way it makes it sound like he's screening it. So I wonder if he's trying to find a distribution, like like someone to distribute it. Distribute it.
Distribute it.
If he's trying to find someone to, put it out there for him, or if he's like wary of it. There's no telling.
There's plenty of people that will.
Oh yeah, for sure. It'd make back its money.
Yeah. I think it's going to be on Disney Plus. So I think Disney's gonna jump on that.
Hope. One would definitely hope. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I think that's it. I feel like since it was your next week is your pick, you should have the honor of announcing what next week's film will be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Next week we're looking at the hit picture Cars. We're pretty excited to check it out, and in all seriousness, I was thinking of different films I could say, and for some reason Cars poked into my head. But we're gonna be checking out David Blaine.
David Blaine.
David Byrne, right? David Byrne. Yeah. Why am I questioning it? I don't know. David Byrne's film True Stories, which the Talking Heads did the soundtrack for, and it's half music.
And David Byrne stars.
Yeah, he's the main protagonist, but I would, I'll save that. I was going to say something about it, but yeah, so check out True Stories. We'll be doing that one next week, and hopefully whenever Spike Lee's concert film comes out for his American Utopia.
I want to say it's tonight. It airs on HBO.
So maybe we can talk about that in the news section next week.
Yeah, I can try to hopefully get that in.
Well, follow us on. Me and Chris have our own letterbox if y'all want to follow us there, and I hope everyone is safe during this time, and we will see y'all next week.
Yeah.